Welcome to Random Fill Friday. We're in the month of October, so we're going to be doing another fill in 10. Let's go ahead and draw our notes and see what our final rhythm is going to be. Here's today's rhythm analyzed in 10-8. We start with a quarter note on the downbeat of 1. That's going to last us from beat 1 to beat 2. After that, we have two 16th notes starting on 3, so that's going to be 3 and the and of 3. Then we have a 16th note rest on 4, and then a 16th note on the and of 4. And finally, we end that 5-beat phrase with an 8th note on the downbeat of 5. So let's go ahead and hear what beats 1 through 5 will sound like. 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. After that, we have three 16th note triplets starting on the downbeat of 6. That'll give you 6 triplet. That's followed by an 8th note on the downbeat of 7, and another 8th note on the downbeat of 8. For beats 9 and 10, we have a repeated rhythm. So we start with a 16th note rest on the downbeat of 9, and then a 16th note on the and of 9. Like I said, we repeat that rhythm onto beat 10. So we have a 16th note rest on the downbeat of 10, and the 16th note on the and of 10. So let's go ahead and hear what beats 6 through 10 will sound like. 3, 4, 5. 6 triplet, 7, 8, and 9, and 10, and. Cool. Now let's hear the whole rhythm put together. 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and 6 triplet, 7, and 8, and 9, and 10, and. All right, let's go ahead and throw this on the drum set and see what the fill turns out to be. Let's start by playing crash cymbal and snare drum on the quarter note on beat 1. Since we're in 10-8 time, that quarter note is going to take up beat 1 and beat 2. After that, we have two 16th notes starting on downbeat of 3. So for the first 16th note, we're going to play open hi-hat and snare drum. The second 16th note, which lands on the and of 3, is going to go on a bass drum, and we're going to close the open hi-hat. After that is a 16th note rest on the downbeat of 4, followed by a 16th note on the and of 4. So on the and of 4, we're going to play snare drum and floor tom. Finally, we have an 8th note on the downbeat of 5, so we're just going to play bass drum on that one. So let's go ahead and hear what beats 1 through 5 will sound like. For beats 6 and 7, we're going to do a little bit of metric modulation using the same arrangement of drums we did for beats 1 through 5. So for the first 16th note triplet of beat 6, we're going to play open hi-hat and snare drum. For the trip of 6, or the second 16th note triplet, we're going to close the hi-hat and play the bass drum. For the third 16th note triplet, we're going to play snare drum and floor tom. And then for the downbeat of 7, we're going to play the bass drum. So let's go ahead and hear what 6 through 7 will sound like so we can piece the rest of the fill from that. The rest is easy. We're going to play the downbeat of 8 on the snare drum, the and of 9 on the high tom and crash, and the and of 10 on the floor tom and crash. So let's go ahead and hear what beats 8 through 10 will sound like. Alright, now let's piece together the whole fill. So how have you guys been liking counting to 10 so far? For me, it's been a little bit challenging, but I think I'm starting to get the hang of it. If you like this fill, or any of the past RFF fills, record yourself playing it and send it to any of the Inspired Drumming social media accounts. I really want to see how you guys are doing. So glad and excited to see you next week. Stay inspired.